Hello, I'm Divine Harmony. Yes, my real given birth name is Harmony. I always get asked. I'm just making a little video to talk about my upcoming course, brand new course, starting Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. It's a 4-week online series, The Alchemy of the Asteroid Goddesses. And it is a deep dive working with the divine feminine, and I'm actually really excited to be bringing forth something new and putting it out there into the world. So this video is to just give you a little intro on the course. If you're familiar with me already in my work, you know me, but if you don't, or if you're new to me, I just wanted to say a few things, say hi, show myself live. So my background, I've been studying astrology for 27 years. I'm actually 45. So for more than half my life, I have my master's degree in depth psychology. I have studied 6 years intensive training in shadow work, and I'm an initiated priestess. I have studied mythology and archetype and Jungian psychology and goddess studies. And these are the things that really give me joy. The divine feminine really is what guides my life. She guides my life, the great mother, the divine feminine, and all her facets and manifestations. And this 4-week class is looking at the asteroid goddesses, which you may or may not have heard of in astrology series, the great mother, Juno, the wife, Pallas Athena, the daughter, and Vesta, the priestess. And, one of the reasons I actually started teaching about the asteroid goddesses very early on, I teach about them in my basics foundation class, and because I think they're foundational. This course is a much deeper dive into them, because in my foundations class, it's a 5-week class, and I spend part of one class talking about these 4 goddesses. This course will be 1 week, 2 hours each week, just with this one archetypal energy. But in basic astrology, Sun through Pluto, if you're just going to look at the 10 main planets, only 2 of them are feminine, the rest of them are masculine. So astrology is actually kind of patriarchal in some ways, the way of the imbalance of the archetypes for feminine and masculine and how they show up. And so when you add in the asteroid goddesses to the chart, you bring in more feminine archetypal energy for women to identify with, for men to understand and connect with, for non-binary beings to also connect with. Divine feminine is an essence. It's not about gender. There is a gender, obviously, aspect to feminine, but this archetypal energy goes way beyond that. And so it's an offering to bring more balance into the chart. And this course, we will be exploring them on many levels. The whole point of this course is so that by the end of it, you have a very deep, embodied, lived experience of these archetypes. So it's not just in your head where you're like, oh, well, this means that and this means this, which can be some of the shadow of astrology. Actually, it can be very heady. It can be very like, let me look this up. What does this mean? Oh, this is what I learned. I can repeat it, verbatim. I want you to feel them in your body and feel them in your being and start to see their archetypal energies express out in the world, in relationships with people around you. So we will be, starting off by looking at their modern myth, which is the Greek and Roman versions of the myth, which is what we generally associate with these goddesses. But then we're going to follow the threads to find what was there before, because the modern Greek and Roman myths are more patriarchal renderings of these goddesses, and they have much deeper, more ancient, pre-patriarchal stories and energies and essences. I kind of see the modern Greek and Roman myths as like expression of the shadow, And I see the more ancient myths as expression of the light. And of course, we want to hold both, right? We want to see the shadow and we want to see the light. That we're not light polarizing, and we're also not wanting to just stay stuck in the shadow. And so we are going to work with both sides of, the balance, and we're going to work with them holistically. And we're going to work with them in terms of the 4 major stages of alchemy, in terms of the 4 major stages of individuation from Jungian psychology. We will be working with them somatically in the body. And of course, we'll be working with them astrologically. And the class includes like detailed notes, cheat sheets for looking up your placement natally, or any placement you're interested in, by sign, house, and aspect, by planet or angle. And we will have, the classes are about 2 hours. I teach in a flow state. I do have a PowerPoint, so it's not just like winging it. But I teach in a flow state. And so it might be a little more, might be a little less, but it's about 2 hours. The first class, I'm asking people to be prepared for 2.5 hours, because there's actually some intro material that's going to relate to the whole arc of the course that I need to kind of set the foundation for. The class will include teaching, include practices. There'll be time for Q&A, general Q&A, and then we always close with a guided meditation. I will be streaming the classes through my online course classroom website, Kajabi, and then they will be posted in the classroom for access after, to rewatch or watch if you can't make it live. And you have access to the course indefinitely once you have purchased it. As I mentioned, classes are Wednesdays starting September 20th. Last one is October 11th. And they run from 2 to 4 or 4:30-ish for the first class, Eastern. So that's 11 to 1:30 Pacific, and that's 7 to 9:30 UK time. And then, of course, adjust for your time zone accordingly if you live elsewhere. Let's see, is there anything else I wanted to say about it? Who, what, why, where, and when. I think I've covered all that. Yeah, I really just want this course to serve you in deepening your connection with the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the energy and the essence and the archetype that we need actually for healing as a humanity. We have repressed and oppressed the feminine. And yes, for women. But this is also just essence, because the feminine represents the heart and compassion and empathy and nurturing and nourishment. And we all have the capacity to connect to these energies and to live them and to be them and to share them. And it's really a key piece of healing for humanity, but for each of us on an individual level, that's how we contribute to the healing that is necessary for humanity. So I love the Divine Mother and the goddess and all her manifestations, and I'm really excited to bring this course out into the world. It is a part 1 of a 3-part goddess series, so I will have part 2 and part 3 coming out in the next 1.5 years or so. Part 2 will actually be on Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, Dark Moon Lilith, Asteroid Lilith, and Selena White Moon. And then part 3 will be on the Trinity of Sedna, Hygeia, and Estrella. So I hope you'll come join me, and I'm really excited for the course. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask me via email. And I'm sending lots of love. Hope to see you in class soon. Bye.